Happy New Year, everybody!
Yeah, I hope you have a good one, and welcome to this week's show where we're going to be taking a look at what's got us excited for 2022.
Yes, plus we've got all the regulars, Bike Vault, Where in the World, and a whole load of more good stuff for you.
Right, it's 2022. Rich, what has got you excited for this year that's coming up?
Well, do you know what? There's a lot to get excited about, but more affordable e-bikes. Your pricing seems to have filtered its way down from all the fancy super bikes you see out there to slightly more affordable versions, meaning that lots more people can hopefully get out on them.
Definitely, yeah. We've seen those big high-end carbon models often being replicated now in alloys, so it's obviously bringing those prices down. Lower spec components, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, makes it a lot more durable, but yeah, those prices have dropped, meaning hopefully we're going to see more people on e-bikes this year, for sure.
I think we definitely are.
And of course, we've got the lightweight e-bikes, obviously the Kenevo SL, Kenevo Levo SL, Orbea Rise, BH Lynx. There's loads of new models coming to the market. What's your thoughts on these then, Rich?
I'm actually quite for these because I am very much a mountain biker still, and I really love a conventional mountain bike. So, if I was thinking of switching over full time to an e-bike especially, then sort of that middle ground, if you like, I think is exactly where I go. And I've ridden an Orbea Rise quite a bit, and it rides just like a normal bike. It's great. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this.
And I think with the motor choices we've got, obviously the Specialized range, you see that lower torque motor, 35 newton meters torque compared to the Orbea Rise, which is 60 newton meters of torque. And then we're seeing new brands like the BH bike as well. So that has an adjustable tune, meaning you can up and down the torque levels that a motor gives out.
Very
meaning
clever.
We're seeing lighter weight bikes, but in turn, they're making the batteries smaller, but making you work harder. So,
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've got some of those big, powerful motors like the EPA RS from Orbea, which is pumping out 60 newton meters of torque, which is a unit that is capable of pumping out 85 newton meters of torque in its normal guise, but it's being tuned down. So, kind of cutting corners, but is it in the right way?
And why would you do that?
So basically you're going to get more range, but as I say, out of the battery, but you're going to have to work harder to make up for that shortfall in power. So,
but could you take that motor up to full power?
Yeah, I believe some companies are working that into their bikes. So could we see those full-powered bikes, full-powered motor in those lightweight bikes? That could be super.
I mean, you are going to rinse the battery though.
You're going to rinse the batteries out, but there's going to be some big range extenders to cope with that. So
I hear a hill climb coming on.
I know. I think mixed with those big extenders and of course those smaller batteries,
nice.
Could be interesting. And then I think they've become just commonplace, aren't they? I think I was at Forest of Dean last weekend, and that place was pretty much e-bike central.
It is, yeah. I think a lot of certainly in the UK, I don't know, couldn't say for worldwide, but Europe as well, actually. E-bikes are very commonplace now, aren't they? You notice them because they're so good for accessing the entire hill or the entire mountain quickly, easily, and a broader range of people that, I think you're going to see e-bikes just more and more.
Definitely. I think what's helped out is people are actually aware of how they work. A lot of people's thoughts were you just sit on them, press a button or turn the throttle and you go along. But in turn, you actually do have to work pretty hard on those things to get the most out of them. And people are aware of that. And I think the industry's done really good at making people aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's going to go hand in hand nicely with that first point we made about pricing, about e-bikes becoming more affordable. You know, e-bikes become more affordable, the more you're going to see them. It's inevitable.
Definitely. And I think the last thing I want to add to that is the exciting new style of riding we're seeing from these guys. I mean, Ackrig's recent edit, pretty much blew my mind what he was capable of. I think that was literally a step towards motorbike trials rather than mountain biking. I just think some of that stuff you wouldn't be doing on a normal bike.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? It defies the laws of physics.
Exactly. I think it's that middle ground between motorbike trials and mountain biking. I think it's a really good mix of two. And it simply blows our mind regularly, doesn't it?
Insane. But I tell you what, why not let us know in the comments below what you lot out there are looking forward to this year, 2022. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. But for now, it's time for the news. Chris, I've got a slamming bit of first news for you. The new Raymon have added a lightweight e-bike to their lineup, the Airway E12 at sub 20 kilograms. And I think you'll agree that that does look slamming.
It does look absolutely slamming, but weighs 19.4 kilos as well, so super lightweight, 29er. It's got 150mm travel on this.
Yeah, very nice.
So it's like one of those bikes that we talked about earlier. It's got that air drive motor on there, which is derived from the Yamaha PWX2 motor.
Okay.
So that's capable of pumping out 90 newton meters, but this has been detuned to 50 newton meters torque. So you're going to get obviously a bit more economical range out of this, but it's still got that power there.
Okay.
And it's got a small battery in there, 410 watt hours, which Raymon say is comparable to a bike which has a 600 watt hour battery in there. Obviously, because you're going to be working that a little bit harder. Yeah, it's got a nice Yamaha Interface X display, which is compatible with Garmin and some other head units too. And the cost of this one's €7,299. But super lightweight bike there with kind of half power. It's an interesting bike there from Raymon, liking the concept.
Very nice.
And moving across to Germany now for some Magura news.
Very nice.
They've just launched their Magura MT5 e-stop brakes. Now this is an e-bike specific brake. It's got big 220mm rotors, one-piece forged caliper on there, 4-piston caliper. And if you fancy a bit more of a pimp version of this, they do the Fabio Widmer edition.
For you fancy pants out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's got some nice gold parts on the pistons and the caliper itself. Looks a bit more pimp. It's going to cost you a little bit more. Now that basic brake, the MT5 e-stop, that's going to cost you €115 without a rotor. It's pretty good value for that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
But if you want that bling version, the Fabio Widmer edition, that's going to be €270. But ultimate stopping power there. You've got different levers, how
so
many
you can
fingers.
really tune them to exactly how you like it to
Exactly,
feel.
and you've got one finger option, and I did notice they do a 4-finger brake lever. So
wow.
I can't imagine what a 4-finger brake lever, it'd be like a motorbike. Can you imagine that with a 220mm rotor?
Never go 4 fingers, surely. It's dangerous. It's a bit much for my liking, mate, but hey ho.
And a man we always see on an e-bike for the winter is Bernard Kerr, and check this out, he's looking super stylish on this.
He loves it.
That motocross style just brushing off onto his e-bike, there's big whips going sideways. The man is super stylish on a bike, isn't he? Look at that.
Yeah, smooth man.
Right, it's a new year kicking off, and I expect you want to be looking fresh out on the trails.
I do.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, always.
And I can't suggest a better way than no other than getting in the EMBN merch shop and checking it out. We've got loads going on in there. Jerseys, hats, you name it. It is literally rammed to the gills. So if you want to look fresh for the new year, get in there and check out all the latest merch.
Right, Chris, we've got some bangers coming up this week on the channel. What have we got to look forward to?
Well, on Friday we've got ways of beating an e-biker. So if you're a mountain biker, it's ways you can get that upper hand on an e-biker. So pretty interesting one there. On Sunday we're taking a look at the first part in our series of e-bike monsters, where we travel around taking a look at the weird and wonderful world of e-bikes. Some pretty strange bikes out there for sure. Yeah. And on Monday, we're taking a look at all the e-bike helmets that you can use out on the trails with different types of lids and all that stuff going on. So yeah, good one on Monday, so be sure to be checking that out.
Will do.
Right, it's time for some comments from the recent videos that we did. And recently we did a video all about your first weekend getaway, and it's had some good feedback, right, Rich?
It has, yes. Well, it's Pro Target 1. Regarding camping, you can't have used many campsites. Most decent campsites have toilets, showers, etc. Many do have hookups for tents as well as caravans and camper vans. Not in the middle of the woods though, mate, do they?
Depends what you're doing with your tent. As I mentioned in the video, it's more like about being out there off grid. So
yeah, bit of bikepacking.
When I mentioned about not having charging points with a tent, that's kind of what I meant. But obviously, well aware of campsites do have electric hookups, if no matter what you're using, be it a tent, motorhome, or a caravan, exactly. Monkey Magic is saying, why did you not mention large estate cars as an option to sleep in? They make an excellent one-man, comfy enough for 2 people at a stretch, outdoors, short-term campers. Obviously using folding foam mattress and so on. So
yeah, why didn't you mention them?
I don't know, it wasn't, I have done that in the past. I have slept in the back of an estate car, or even I remember sleeping in the front of a car.
Oh, it's horrendous. With
the seats wound back. I remember how cold that is. But I obviously couldn't mention every single option in the video. So
yeah, fair enough.
It's a good one for sure.
Yep, Simon Y. E-bikes are great, but they're not really weekend friendly. Perhaps a gravel bike would be better. Gravel bikes are inadequate mountain bikes or over-engineered road bikes. So
But that's what the video was all about. It was trying to, explain how you make a weekend work for your e-bike. So if you do watch a video, you'll get a load of tips to make an e-bike work for you, no matter where you're staying.
It's that time. It's climb of the week, Chris.
Yeah, got a really cool one in here from Bridger. He's on his Rocky Mountain altitude power play out in Utah. Getting a bit of tech with this. Bit of a rocky kind of climb through a tree, like a V in the tree. I think it looks like he's using his chainring or maybe that bottom of the battery motor housing to stay stable. Then hopping it.
Bit trialsy. Bit techers there, isn't it? Loose. Yeah, nice. Very nicely done.
And don't forget, if you've got any climb of the week or any content you want us to feature here on the show, get involved. Use our upload service and the details for that are up on screen.
Again, it's time for a bit of out and about and see where you guys and girls are, where in the world.
Yeah, kicking things off, we've got Anders here. He's got some ice spike tyres on in Luleå in Sweden. Yeah, look at that, just cruising along. Not a problem on that ice.
Just chilling on that ice.
Ridden ice spike tyres?
Not actual, no, I've ridden on the snow and stuff before. I've never ridden the proper metal studded tyres. No way, they look dangerous.
They do look very dangerous.
Yikes.
Check this out, I've been actually round this spot. God Revy, this is Adrian. He's got an Orbea Wild FS Cube Stereo and a white E160 out in God Revy in Cornwall. Got that lighthouse in the background just down from Hale.
Nice picture, isn't it?
It is cool.
Lovely jubbly.
Looks really good.
Who have we got next?
Philip here, he's got a Cube Reaction 500 Hybrid Pro hardtail. He's out in Shillito Woods in the Peak District, out for a sunny Sunday ride. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Gosh, yeah.
Whoa, check this out. So this is the final shot in Where in the World. This is from Mark. He's out on his Levo.
And where in the world is he?
He is in Point Magu in California.
Nice.
First 30-mile ride, 4,000 plus meters climb descent on his Levo.
Show off. Nice.
Beautiful. Look at those birds flying in the sky. Bit of blue sky, bit of a lens flare going on.
It's a good picture, that one.
Yeah,
I like it.
Amazing. As I mentioned earlier, keep sending all this stuff into EMBN. I love seeing where you guys are riding, in the whereabouts in the world, and of course, all your bikes with the Bike Vault too.
That was where in the world, but now it is time for the Bike Vault, and you guys out there have sent in some absolute bangers. Who have we got, Chris?
We've got Gordon here. Looks like he's been out for a bit of a muddy ride. He's got his Ghost Slammer RX 2019 model out in Horsham in West Sussex.
Nice.
Just been out riding some secret trails. What do you reckon that shot, Rich?
Muddy. But I like it, it's quite nice. Non-drive side though, why would you do that?
Got a lot of mud going on. What are you thinking, just a nice?
That's a nice, it is a nice. Who have we got next then, Chris?
We have got Kevin, he's got a Cube Stereo Hybrid 160. He's out on Skidaway Island in Savannah, Georgia.
Very nice.
First ride in the daylight, UPS dropped off the box on Friday, built it up on his lunch break, and he didn't want to go out that night, so he's got out for a first spin in the day.
I like it, I like that shot, that's nice. That's super nice. Super nice, I think, yeah.
It's worthy of a super nice
I think so.
too. Next up, we've got Eddie here. He's got a Raydon Render 10 HD Supreme out in Caesar's Camp in Aldershot in Hampshire. After what seems an eternity, my new e-bike, my first ever e-bike, has arrived, and he's out there shredding on the trails and having an amazing time. I think that's one of the first Raydons we've seen here on the EMBN Bike Vault. For that reason, I think that has got to be a super nice.
Wow, good work.
Well, check this out. So this is Amanda. She's got a Focus Jam Square 6.7 out in Australia. Great weekend of alpine mountain biking adventures with some historic huts along the way.
I know, it looks well. I actually really like that picture.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
What are you giving it? What do you reckon?
It's got to be a super nice.
I think it has, yeah.
Just a shame, can't quite see that down tube in the graphic and stuff, but the setting, it's got to be a super nice.
Good picture, that one. Nicely done.
We've got Christopher here with a 2019 Cannondale Cujo Neo. He's out in Walnut Creek in California, USA, exploring trails in the open space near my house. And wouldn't like to be falling down that bank. You're a long way up there.
Yes.
That has got to be a nice...
lovely stuff.
Next shot in is a bit wintry looking here. Nice kind of stormy sort of sunset shot going on in the background. Stephen is out in Burley, New Forest in Hampshire. Morning ride out to the forest, getting covered in mud. A lot of blue anodizing.
Yeah, a bit of coordination though, I quite like that. I'm not so sure on the blue decals on the wheels as well. It might be a bit much for my liking, but you can see some good attention to detail going on.
Definitely got the grips, of hubs, cranks, pedals, all blue.
Full works, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's got to be super nice.
Giving them away.
Listen, from Andrew, he's got a Scott E-Genius 710 above Blackwater Reservoir. Solo, very wet ride, and the rain is relentless. That looks like a studio, like a cover shot for me. I think it's a really nice shot.
Yeah, good work. That's super nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and final one in this week's Bike Vault is in from Brian. He's got a 2020 Norco range and horse trail system in Arizona, a view from my Zen spot. And what an amazing Zen spot that looks. I think it's a nice shot. Can't quite see the bike. It's just a bit of a...
We really want to see your bike.
Bit of a rear end shot. I know you're a fan of those rear end shots, Rich, aren't you? But that isn't quite doing it for me, I'm afraid. So I think that is a nice to round out this week's Bike Vault. But as ever, get involved in the comments box down below. Let us know what you are excited about for 2022.
Yeah, please send in your bikes. We do love to see them.
Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to us here on EMBN. And whilst you're there, get in that merch shop and check out all the latest kit. And we shall see you next week.